Finally, the moment we've been waiting for all year long has arrived. It's here. Two elite enemies will be pitted against each other in a fight that should determine the balance of power. And a squad that has so frequently fallen to the Empire over the years will get yet another chance to end its lengthy reign. No, I'm not talking about The Last Jedi. I'm talking about the Patriots-Steelers Week 15 clash in Pittsburgh on Sunday, which will likely determine which team secures home field advantage throughout the postseason. Entering the game, the Steelers at 112 after a few unimpressive last-second wins owned the top seed over the 103 Patriots, who are coming off a dismal outing against the Dolphins. If the Steelers win and the Jaguars lose or tie, they'll secure home field advantage. If the Patriots win, they'll take over the top spot and be in the driver's seat. For nearly the entire season, we've highlighted this game as the moment that will likely determine the entire fate of the AFC's portion of the postseason. No one, not including those affiliated with the Steelers, of course believes the Steelers can go into Foxborough in January and beat the Patriots with a trip to the Super Bowl at stake. That turns this week into a must-win game for the Steelers. They're at home, and they have a chance to make sure the Patriots are forced to return to Pittsburgh come January. For nearly the entire season, I haven't given the Steelers a chance to win Sunday's game. But after what we witnessed on Monday night, when Jay Cutler out-dueled Tom Brady in a convincing Dolphins win, I'm ready to believe in the Steelers' chances on Sunday. They should be favored, and if I had to bet on the game, I'd take the Patriots. But they can beat the Patriots, who are actually beatable. They're not hopeless. They can beat the Patriots because they have the two best skill position players on the field. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are good enough to carry the Steelers to victory. If Cutler, Kenyon Drake, and Jarvis Landry found a way to rip through the Patriots' defense, so can the Steelers' killer bees. Bell leads the NFL in yards from scrimmage with 1,684 and offensive touches with 358. The Steelers need to make sure he hits quota of 27.5 touches per game for a few reasons. The first is that by running the ball effectively or by using Bell efficiently in the short passing game, they can keep their offense on the field and as a result, keep Brady away from the football. The second is that the Patriots' defense can be exploited by running backs. On Monday night, Drake touched the ball 30 times and picked up 193 yards. He did most of his damage as a runner, 25 carries for 114 yards, but don't discount his contributions in the passing game, 5 catches for 79 yards. The Dolphins split him out wide and let him work in space against slower linebackers. NFL Game Pass against Patriots linebacker Landon Roberts. Drake caught all 3 of his targets for 58 yards, according to Pro Football Focus. NFL Game Pass. The Steelers can follow the Dolphins' strategy, but they can execute it even better considering they have Bell, arguably the best all-around back in football, as you can see below in his receptions map via PFF Pro Football Focus. The touchdown below, taken from the Steelers' recent win over the Ravens, should look similar to the Cutler-Drake slant play above, except Bell ends his reception by blasting his way through 2 tacklers. NFL Game Pass. The Steelers can exploit the Patriots by using Bell against their slower linebackers. It's a matchup they'll win. When the Steelers do put the game in Ben Roethlisberger's hands, they need to find a way to force the ball into Brown, who has worked his way into the MVP conversation by leading the league in receptions with 99 and receiving yards with 1,509. He's also tied for the second most touchdown catches with 9. Brown suddenly has a slim chance to become the first receiver to break the 2,000-yard barrier. It'll take a superhuman effort for him to get there. He needs to average 163.7 yards per game from here on out. But if anyone is capable of being superhuman, it's Brown. NFL Game Pass. The strength of the Patriots' defense is its secondary, a group that features Malcolm Butler, Stephen Gilmore, Patrick Chung, Devin McCourty, and Daron Harmon. That's a good group. But it's also a group that got exposed by the Dolphins on Monday night when Cutler completed 65.8% of his passes for 263 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a 112.1 passer rating. The Patriots' defense had no answers for one of the worst defenses in football. Take a look at Cutler's passing map. He lit up the Patriots wherever he decided to challenge them. Key attempts, completions, yards, touchdowns, interceptions. Pro Football Focus. They let Landry turn short passes into important plays. NFL Game Pass. The 5'7" Jakeem Grant won against Butler. NFL Game Pass. And keep in mind, the Patriots' already awful night could have been way worse if not for Grant's shaky hands. He dropped what should have been a 50-plus-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter. NFL Game Pass. The Dolphins exposed a Patriots defense that entered the game allowing 11.9 points per game during their 8-game winning streak. The Dolphins proved that the Patriots defense isn't nearly as good as we thought. There's no doubt the Steelers' offense boasts the necessary firepower to do what the Dolphins did. We cannot ignore the fact that the Patriots' defense was missing linebacker Kyle Van Noy 5.5 sacks and 58 tackles and defensive end Trey Flowers 6.0 sacks. Defensive lineman Alan Branch departed early in the game with a knee injury. There's a very real chance that the Patriots' defense will be once again short-handed, which gives the Steelers a chance to keep pace with Brady. It'll be interesting to see if the Patriots decide to use the blitz as much as they did against the Dolphins. According to PFF, the Patriots decided to blitz Cutler 48.8% of the time, which is odd considering their season average is 27.3%. And Cutler torched them, going 15 of 19 for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 140.6 passer rating against the blitz, per PFF. The best bet is that the Patriots get back to their more typical game plan and use the blitz more sparingly. Big Ben has a 97.2 passer rating against the blitz. According to PFF, the Steelers need their quarterback to keep up his high level of play. Since his 5-pick meltdown in Week 5, Roethlisberger has completed 64.5% of his passes, averaged north of 300 yards per game, thrown 18 touchdowns and 6 picks, and accumulated a 100.8 passer rating. He's peaking at the right time. The Steelers' offense will need to be the juggernaut we thought they'd be entering the season if they have any hope of beating the Patriots. The good news, in their past 4 games, they're averaging 33.3 points per game. The bad news, not many teams can stop Brady and the Patriots' stacked defense. But the Dolphins did. They did that by getting physical with the Patriots' receivers at the line of scrimmage and generating pressure 35.3% of the time, according to PFF. Brady's pressure rate this season is 31.6%, the 8th lowest in football, per PFF. So the Dolphins forced more pressure than Brady is accustomed to. Don't expect the Patriots to suffer another offensive meltdown. They're getting Rob Gronkowski back from a 1-game suspension. He's the kind of player who is physical enough to win at the line of scrimmage, and the Steelers don't like to do what the Dolphins did. They prefer to sit back in their zone coverage. That didn't work out so well the last time the two teams met. In the AFC title game last January, Brady picked apart the Steelers' zone defense, going 32 of 42 for 384 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a 127.5 passer rating. They're also without Ryan Shazier, who could have been used to chase down the Patriots' plethora of capable running backs. The Patriots' offense has the advantage over the Steelers' defense, even if they mix up their coverages. In short, expect the Patriots to score points. That's why this game is all about the Steelers' offense. They have the best receiver and the best running back in football. They need them to play like it, and they need Big Ben to continue his hot streak. If that happens, then the Steelers will have a chance to beat the Patriots. Luckily for Pittsburgh, the Dolphins just showed the rest of the NFL that there's still a way to take down the empire that is the Patriots. Luckily, the Steelers have the pieces to follow their game plan and execute it at a higher level. Feature Bell heavily as a runner and also split him out wide against slower linebackers, and feed Brown. It might seem obvious, but it's the only way the Steelers can beat the Patriots. They need the killer bees to perform up to their peak. Read on for 8 quick stats to know for Week 15 of the NFL season. 1. Tom Brady's Achilles heel. In mid to late November, Brady began showing up on the injury report with an Achilles injury. He tried to downplay how that injury would affect him, but take a look at his numbers since that injury. Brady's passer rating before Achilles 110.9, Brady's passer rating since Achilles 83.7. Doug Kyed, Doug Kyed, December 12, 2017. There's no way to know for sure if that injury is bothering him. But anytime a 40-year-old quarterback could be dealing with an injury, it's worth noting. Or maybe Brady accidentally consumed gluten or caffeine and that's what's actually bothering him. 2. Xavier Howard's emergence. By beating the Patriots, the Dolphins kept their season alive. They'll likely need to win out to make the playoffs, but they do face the Bills twice and the Chiefs to close out the year. So, it's not impossible. To run the table, they'll need Xavier Howard to continue his stellar run of play. Xavier Howard, over past 3 weeks, which features 2 games versus the Patriots, 17 targets, 2 receptions, 30 yards, 0 TDs, 4 INTs, 4 PDS, passer rating allowed 0.0, Sam Monson at PFF_Sam, December 12, 2017. His entire highlight reel from Monday night is worth watching. He made chasing down Brandon Cooks to intercept a Brady deep ball look routine. 3 Nick Foles vs. Carson Wentz. The Eagles' Super Bowl hopes are likely over with Carson Wentz out for the season with a torn ACL. But Nick Foles is good enough to at least give the Eagles a fighting chance. No one is going to argue that Foles is just as good as Wentz. But he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Not too long ago, Foles set the record for the strangest stat line in sports history, with a 27-touchdown, 2-interception season. The area of the Eagles will likely miss Wentz. Third downs. On 3rd and 10 yards to go, Wentz posted a 138 passer rating W13.8 YPA, both best in NFL at 38% success rate. NFL AVG is 21%. Second-year QBs should not be this proficient in that situation. It has been massive for the Eagles. Pic.twitter.com Ogmwukva, Warren Sharp at Sharp Football, December 11, 2017. This week, Foles faces the hapless Giants, which should serve as a nice warm-up game before the tough ones begin. But if Foles falters, the Eagles can always move on to Plan B. I'm all in. 4 Jaguars chance at history. The Jaguars destroyed the Seahawks this past weekend, picking off Russell Wilson 3 times and destroying his MVP candidacy. The Jaguars' defense is why they actually have a chance to wind up with a first-round bye. They're historically good, statistically at least. The Jaguars are on pace to do something that neither the 1985 Bears nor the 2000 Ravens could: lead the NFL in scoring, defense, sacks, and takeaways in the same season. No team since 1970 has finished a season leading the league in all 3 categories, as the Jaguars currently do. NFL Research at Mill Research, December 12, 2017. They get the Texans this week, so expect another dominant showing. 5. Michael Thomas can join Odell Beckham. The Saints are likely playoff-bound, and most of the credit is going toward their running back duo, their resurgent defense, and Drew Brees. Don't forget about second-year receiver Michael Thomas, though. He's on the verge of joining Odell Beckham in an exclusive club. Michael Thomas has 85 receptions, needs 5 catches to join Odell Beckham as the only 2 players in NFL history to have 90 receptions in each of their first 2 seasons. Pic.twitter.com 7 Zafnal Z, Randall Lewitt Railunful, December 12, 2017. Thomas could be in for a huge day against the Jets. 6. An odd Matt Ryan stat. The Falcons beat the Saints last week even though Ryan threw 3 picks. Here's a strange stat about Ryan and his 3-pick games. 22 times this season an NFL QB has thrown 3 INTs in a game. Their record is 220. The 2 winners: Matt Ryan Week 3 versus DET, Matt Ryan Week 14 versus Knox Bardeen at Knox Bardeen, December 8, 2017. Weird. 7 Mike McCarthy in December. Well, Aaron Rodgers is back, and the Packers' playoff hopes are alive. The rest of the NFL had a chance to put away the Packers with Rodgers injured for the past 2 months. Instead, they let them hang around. They're now in a position for Rodgers to run the table and lead the Packers into the postseason. Don't be surprised if it happens. As the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's Jeff Miley pointed out, the Packers are 3,513 in December under Mike McCarthy. Will anyone be surprised if the Packers go 30 with Rodgers and sneak into the postseason? It won't be easy. They face the Panthers, Vikings, and Lions to close the year, and they'll need some help along the way. 8-2 West divisions could be decided on Sunday. The Seahawks will host the Rams. If they win, they'll have the same record as the Rams, and because they will have swept the season series, they'll take control over the NFC West. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will host the Chargers on Saturday. Both teams are 76. They're tied atop the AFC West. The last time they met, the Chiefs won. So if the Chiefs win again, they'll essentially take a 2-game lead over the Chargers. For the entire playoff picture, click